Are you looking for a breakdown of the metro Atlanta counties to understand what's going on in these different real estate markets? Well, you've come to the right place, as we're looking at a county by county breakdown for single family detached homes here in the metro Atlanta area, and we're doing it right now. Let's do it. My name is John McCoy, Keller Williams Realty, Chattahoochee North. Been a realtor for 12 years, Atlanta native for 45, and I love bringing you the numbers for the Atlanta real estate market. And today we're doing a county by county breakdown. So if you wanted to be some of the most informed buyers out there and sellers out there, you've come to the right place, and we are taking a look right now. So let's go ahead and jump into these numbers. Okay, to start with, so I was asked at one point in time, what's the North and South Fulton County breakdown? So I wanted to show it on this one. So North Fulton's in this brighter yellow, South Fulton's in this mustard yellow. Is that what you'd call it? I don't know. Colors are never my thing. But anyway, so North Fulton starts at Buckhead area and goes up, and then South Fulton's right in here. We're talking about Midtown, West Atlanta, and Southwest Atlanta and further down. So that's the breakdown of these. You can see on this right side, if you want to see the breakdown of these counties, I can actually get numbers also for these different areas in these counties here. So it's not a city by city breakdown because there's multiple cities that fall in some of these, but there's different sections. This is based on old MLS sections that used to come out. They actually stopped that on the MLS, I do believe, but they kept it here for this chart master. So these are the counties we're dealing with here. We're going to start here with just a general overview real quickly. So if you are looking for a bigger overview of all of Metro Atlanta, I dropped a video you can find right here that I did an overview of the single family detached homes in Metro Atlanta. I'm going to be real quick on this one. This is just going back over that. So we're looking at the change year over year. We can see new listings up, actives up, pendings down. So more homes on the market, less people buying, inventories up to 4.5 months overall. See this maybe going up slightly for the next month for what we're in now, which is February, but soon we're gonna hit the spring market. This will come back down. Median sales price, $430,000, only up 1.2%. That's actually lower than the inflation number, as I talk about often. I always want to factor in inflation. So even though the value here is up slightly from last year, if you factor in inflation, we're actually down a little bit in real value. Days on market up to 55 days. We are inching towards more of a neutral market slowly but surely. Again, I think this is going to pop back down. Don't really think we're going to get, at least in all of Metro Atlanta, in a neutral market or a buyer's market anytime in the next few years. But interesting numbers here. Interest rates definitely playing a factor as they're just hovering around 7. They'll drop a little below 7. They'll go up a little above 7. So, and we still don't have inflation in control. So that's probably one of the reasons. Other than that, we're going to hit on some of these numbers in a few. So failed listings up to 45.8%. So we're not at half yet of listings going up, not selling, but we're getting closer to it. Let's now look at the county breakdown, which you came to see here. So we got Cherokee, Cobb, DeKalb, Douglas, Forsyth. Fulton's broke up into North and South, Gwinnett, and Paulding. If you are looking for more in-depth numbers on these, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'd love to talk with you more about them, and we can go into further depth about what you're specifically looking for. If you want a city breakdown, again, specific to you, let me know. I can try to get you those numbers. We can talk more. All right, this is hot and not. I mean, this is sort of tells a story, but not all of it. So we got active listings pending, that's under contract in the ratio. And we're looking at MOM is month over month, YOY is year over year change. So in Cherokee, we had 742 active homes starting at the beginning of this month or the end of last month, which is our latest numbers here. 310 under contract. So that's a 29.5% sales to list price. I'm sorry, not sales list price ratio, pending ratio of under contract here. So we're close to 30% there. If we look over, that's up for the year, but down for ones under contract. Again, you're going to see the same story, except for a little bit of a surprise here, which I'll talk about. Cobb, 1,191. Homes on the market, 535. Under contract. So Cobb's actually comes in at our highest pending ratio of 31% of the homes are pending here. DeKalb, though, DeKalb actually is a little bit of the changer here for all these. Most of these numbers are down, but for DeKalb, we actually have a year-over-year increase of 4.5% when it comes to number of active listings versus the ones that are under contract, and we're now up to a 25.1% sales or pending ratio. You can see the rest here. You don't have to have me read them all out on here. I'm trying to see if anything's standing out. We can see pending ratios at 26.9%, so a little bit more than 1/4 of the homes are under contract. Just keep telling you out there, if you're a seller right now looking at these numbers, you got to make sure you're pricing your home right and competitively, and you just got to be specific to the area as well. You can price it right in some areas, but some of the ones in South Fulton, we only got a 22.6% ratio, or Douglas, we only have a 22.2% pending ratio. It might be staying longer even if you're priced correctly. So you definitely need to watch the market, keep an eye on it. And if you have a listing out there, making sure you're getting feedback and seeing what's happening hyper locally in that neighborhood you're in the surrounding community, in the school district, things like that. If you're watching this video and you're looking to list your home and you kind of want to know what the maybe value is of your home, I put a link down below. Click on it, you fill in your information, and you'll get an instant value for your home. Of course, if you put your information in, yes, I'm a real estate agent, I will contact you. Some of you out there may just be looking to just put it in there just to get an idea. You're not looking to sell right now, and that's perfectly fine. You want to kick the tires a little bit? Awesome. If you are looking to sell within the next year or so or less, when I contact you, I'd love to talk with you more, get over to your home, take a look at it, give you a more accurate idea of what your home could sell for. But that is below. Again, not going to bug you, but I will contact you if you do put your information in below. Like I said, keeping it real here. So again, that link's below. Let's continue on. We are now at sellers, buyers, or balance market as we look at this. Just to give you a heads up, we're still in a seller's market everywhere for the most part, except for two exceptions actually pop up when it comes to month supply of inventory. So maybe I jumped the gun there saying everywhere. There's two markets that we'll look at. Again, we look at, mostly this is considered month supply of inventory, but that month supply of inventory actually doesn't necessarily tell a whole story. But overall, we're at 4.5 months of inventory, still considered a seller's market. Look at closed listings here. They are up year over year in Cobb, DeKalb, North Fulton, and South Fulton, but down overall 2.8%. So not as many closing. But again, it's got to be very specific looking at where you're at. Lowest inventory, we see Cobb here, only 3.5 months of inventory right there. Let's see some of the highest active ones. Let's look at these numbers here. So for Gwinnett's a huge county. In terms of population, at least. So 3.9 months of inventory, still a lot going on there. Take a look at Douglas, 7.2 months of inventory. Now, the inventory puts this now actually at a buyer's market here in Douglas County with the inventory. Days on market being 58 days, actually, usually that's going to be above that number when it comes to a buyer's market. Typically, you're going to see this number in like the 80 days. Once you start getting to 60 and 70, you start getting towards the neutral market or right at it. Once you start getting that 70, 80 days, you see it higher. But supply of inventory is definitely showing that. And then South Fulton, we're seeing this as a neutral market, but almost a buyer's market here in South Fulton area with 6.8 months of inventory. We can see that year over year, we have a little bit uptick in the number of closed homes, which is good. It's 73 days on market here in South Fulton. That's the highest number of days on market anywhere. That actually, days on market, much more reflects a neutral to coming towards a buyer's market here in South Fulton. So you got to keep that in mind. We can see median days on market is 55 days. And again, when I say days on market, that's the number of days it takes for a house to be listed, and then how long it took to go under contract, eventually leading it to its selling. But it's not all the way from listing to selling. It's just how long it's actually been on market and marketable. Once it goes under contract, it's not considered marketable anymore. You can still market it, but they don't consider that since it's under contract. Let's see anything else popping out at me here. Nothing much. Interesting that Forsyth is at 4.8 months of inventory because that market's been hot for quite a while. Starting to cool off, but prices here are a lot higher too. So that could starting to be playing a factor. Same thing with North Fulton here, hot market. But again, some of the highest prices you'll find in all Metro Atlanta are in this Forsyth, North Fulton area. median sales price. So for those looking to purchase a home, maybe if you're on here and looking, hey, where's maybe the area I can buy or can afford to buy, or if you're looking to sell, kind of what the prices are. Let's look at these closed listings here. So median for all of Metro Atlanta, we kind of already hit on that, $430,000. When we break it down, Cherokee's at $500,000. This is actually a jump from not only month over month, but year over year by 6.4%. So one of the hottest counties to be selling in right now maybe is this Cherokee area right here. Cobb County, 447,250. That's up 0.7%. Again, when I talk about prices increasing in an area, we want to factor in inflation here, which is hovering around that 3% mark. Every month it kind of fluctuates, but when they pull out the new numbers, but we'll just say 3% here. So actual, your real value here actually has gone down some here, and for most counties here. DeKalb County, 350,000, we're down 1.4%. We did see, though, that the number of under contracts was up in DeKalb County, so maybe these prices coming down a little bit here makes it more affordable, pops up the number of people purchasing here. Douglas, we're at 309,500, down 0.2%. Forsyth, we're at $645,000. That's actually up 5.7%. It's always interesting when I start to see days on market go up and number of homes more and more available, but still see an increase in price, or there seems to be a delay in those numbers. So keep an eye out here. It could be we start seeing a slowdown or maybe even a stop of these numbers here in Forsyth when it comes to the sales price going up. North Fulton, we're at $755,000. That's actually down 2.6%. South Fulton, 305, that's actually down 5.5%. Here, Gwinnett's up a little bit, 1.4% to $430,983. And then Paulding at 375 is actually up 2.7% and up month over month. So when we look at this 1.2%, again, the experts out there said that we'd have an increase around 4%. And I have said on a number of videos that I disagreed with that. For this first month at least, this is coming into my area. I thought maybe a 1 to 3% increase in sales prices for homes or values for homes this year. You can look at pending. Pending's a hard number to tell. You can see here it's higher than what the under contract price is, higher than what the closed is, but we don't know what it's going to close at. This is just what the list price was when the home got under contract. So we don't know with the negotiation how much it came down any. So I won't stay too long on those numbers, but you can see they're higher in most parts. DeKalb's not, so that's going to likely go down for DeKalb. Look at Douglas is a big jump here, so that'll be interesting to watch. But for the most part, everywhere, South Fulton's a little lower. So interesting here, the under contract ones at 300,000 is even lower than what it closed for. So more than likely, that's going to keep coming down here in South Fulton. Let's see, Gwinnett's up a little, some, and then Paulding is down slightly, so that's likely to come down some. And then the actives is just what's on the market, not sold yet, but still active. You can see this total is higher, which is not unusual. If you have your median here is, the ones under contract, your ones that are not under contract likely are overpriced. So we can see that. You also have the factor of seasonality. As we start into the spring months, we will see prices go up mainly because bigger homes usually sell in the spring or in summer versus the winter time. 100% Club. This is where we see the sales to list price ratio being 100% or higher. So this is what percentage sold at their exact list price or got higher in these different counties. In Cherokee County, you had 21.7% of the listings going for their sales price or higher. You can see Cobb 23, DeKalb actually, this is again, DeKalb seems a little hot right now, 29.7%. So almost 30% of the homes are getting what they're asking for. This also shows that agents and sellers here are listing them more and more at the right price that they should be at. Douglas 22, let's see here. Forsyth, only 21.9%, which is not surprising here. Again, prices were going really high here. People were pushing it, and now we're seeing a slowdown, and we're seeing less people. So when you're pricing it right, look at this, 6 days on market. So price it right in Forsyth, you can get it sold quickly. North Fulton, 25.8%, South at 23%. Anyways, you can see the median's 25%. So only 1 in 4 homes is actually getting what they're asking for in the list price. So it's good to know that detail for buyers and sellers out there. 12 days on market. So just know this. This is where this comes in handy for both buyers and sellers. If these are the median days on market for homes that are selling at 100% of their sales price, and you can see their days on market. If I'm listing a home, let's just pick one out here. Let's pick Gwinnett County. If I'm listing a home here and I've gone over 10 days on market, I'm now 14, 21 days, still hasn't gone under contract. All right. Well, if I'm looking at this, it looks like 25.8% that are selling right at their price are going in 10 days. So as I start to go past that, I need to start considering, am I overpriced? This is a situational thing. If you got an offer and maybe the contract fell through, or you've got a lot of activity, people coming close to offering or liking it, but choosing a different home, sometimes that can be a clue to maybe you're right at it. You just need to wait longer. But again, it's a situational thing there. If I'm sitting here in like Paulding County, 33 days on market. So even if I got it priced right, I might be sitting for a bit. So keep these in mind as you are selling. If you're buying out there, keep these in mind as well. If you're sitting on a home that you like, but you see these prices or this time going longer and longer, you got a good idea that it's overpriced and you can maybe wait to get a better deal. Price reduction. So this is how often or how many closed listings had to reduce their price before they sold. So this doesn't mean that if a home was sitting at $400,000, someone offered $390,000, right, and they closed at that, they didn't reduce their price, they just got less than they asked. So this is just ones that closed with a price reduction. They had to reduce it before anybody bid on it. We could see 52.7% of homes. So over 50% of homes out there that closed had to reduce their price. And this is broken down county by county. You can see that. And this is the amount of reduction. So if you're sitting out there thinking, and again, everything's specific to your unique home, so you can't take this for all of them. But if you're sitting there thinking like, okay, got a home on the market that's listed too high, how much do I need to reduce? Or if you're trying to buy a home, maybe how much it needs to come down by if you know it's not going anywhere. This kind of gives you at least maybe a starting point of how much maybe it should come down. Because in Cherokee, we're seeing a median price reduction of 4.5%, Cobb 5.7%, DeKalb 9.1%, South Fulton down at 10.5%. Again, we start to see these bigger numbers. I think Douglas and South Fulton were the two places where we were getting into maybe more of a buyer's market here. So these higher price reductions are not surprising. Gwinnett 5.2, Paulding. So again, this just gives you an idea maybe of how much you might need to reduce to get it sold. This one here is going to give you an idea of if you're listing a home, not price reduced versus price reduced. So if you're listing a home and you did not reduce the price, the non-price reduction took 21 days on market in Cherokee to get under contract and then eventually sell. If you did reduce it, 95 days. Okay, so difference is 74 days on market or 2.5 months. So this chart is just breaking down like how much more time are you going to be in your home if you do not price it right. And we see median difference is going to be 87 days is the median difference between homes that are priced right for homes that are not. And you can, like I said, kind of take a look at South Fulton. Price it right, 21 days on market. Price reduction, 135 days on market. You're talking about 3.8 months here. North Fulton's not, doing that much better. 124 days in price reduction. Look at DeKalb, 124 days. The other thing you might need to consider is being faster to price reduce. I think we got so caught up in the price that people wanted to have and going higher and higher and higher that they're slow to reduce because they still think they can get their price. And then now we're looking at just the, less negotiating power. We all know if you're a buyer out there or a seller and someone sees a home on the market for 2-3 months, there's one question that's asked every single time to me: what's wrong with the house? Every single time. I've never had a buyer not ask that question for a home that's been on the market for a while. And so you lose negotiating power when you stay on the market too long. And this chart just kind of breaks down what the sales to list price ratio was if you didn't price reduce versus if you did price reduce. And the difference in Cherokee, 6.2% difference between pricing it right versus not pricing it right. And I'm not gonna get too much in the weeds, but this is a good number, but it's not totally accurate. It doesn't mean that, some people reduce or put their price way over value. It might be a $500,000 home they list at, $600,000. They're $100,000 over versus someone that has a $500,000 home that maybe listed at $525,000. So one home might have to come way down in percentage. The other one doesn't come as much. The question is, if it's a $500,000 home, is it going to go still at 500,000 or is it going to go much lower? And again, in my experience, not necessarily go much lower, but it can go lower than maybe what you could have gotten if you priced it right to begin with. So this isn't to say that every single one is going to be reduced by this much. Again, it's just a median. Cobb County here, again, 8% difference. DeKalb, 10.3. South Fulton, 12.9. I mean, you can just see it over and over again. It's very important that you get these homes priced right to get it sold. And maybe, there are still multiple offers out there in some markets I'm seeing. There's still some hot markets where people are looking to buy. So pricing it right can get you that multiple offer. Now, don't expect, if you're getting multiple offers, to go crazy higher, maybe a little bit higher, but much better to have multiple offers and figure out which terms are best for you. Seller paid closing costs. So if you're wanting an idea of how much closing costs that people are giving out there, first of all, 62.9% of homes being sold right now are giving some kind of concession to the buyer to help them cover closing costs. This is not surprising as we've had interest rates go up, prices go up. Most buyers maybe need some help out there with closing. And so sellers are now having to pay more. And so we can see the breakdown here. 7,500 is the median for all the counties. And you can see it. I mean, most of them are closer. Forsyth is the only one that's kind of the outlier here in terms of how much money is being given towards the buyers. Everywhere else, we're seeing the $7,000 to $8,000 range. This is expired, canceled, or withdrawal listings. So these are known as failed listings by county. So ones that went on the market, did not sell, came off of market. And so we can see these numbers have gone up pretty much everywhere, not month over month in Cherokee, but everywhere else. We're seeing less and less homes being sold. Some of this is caused by price. Some of this is caused by just less buyers out there. So 45.8% of homes are not selling. Look at this South Fulton number, 60.3% of homes fail. Douglas, 58.8%. If you're out there looking for like, hey, where's my good deal at? And again, it's still a seller's market, so it's still harder to buy, except for maybe the South Fulton. You can now start to find maybe a better deal. Douglas County in there, anything in the 50s, 60s, you can start maybe looking in those areas. And again, they've just broke down. This is the median price for homes that failed to sell and came off market. I'm not going to jump back and forth, but you can put maybe the charts together of what the sales price is for the median in these counties versus the ones that failed. And you're going to see that I guarantee that these are going to be over that price. So that's your county by county breakdown of what's going on here in Metro Atlanta. What are you seeing here? I'm seeing, we got more opportunities for buyers out there. Sellers, you definitely need to make sure you're pricing your home right. There still is movement in the spring and summer months when these hit. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this market. I'm still seeing, and thinking that interest rates are going to kind of stay where they're at. Maybe they'll come in the mid sixes. I don't know if they're going to go any lower than that. So it's going to just be, there's pent up buyer need out there, but these prices are just too high for so many people. So a lot of people on the sideline waiting. So interest rates are going to play a big factor here. I still see just a stagnation of prices more than likely are going to happen throughout this year, but we'll keep an eye on this market. I'll keep bringing you the numbers so you can be the most informed buyers and sellers out there. If you are looking to buy or sell a home here in the Metro Atlanta area, I'd love to be your realtor of choice. So give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. My contact information is below in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.